let's get in there. Start. So this will be, the mission is Germany versus Czechoslovakia. Ability 25. Date is 9th, so September 39. Don't know exactly what day it is. Time is 700 hours. Length, Tim length is 15. What else do we need to? Nope. Not sure why. Not sure why he picked Czechoslovakia. I guess why not, right? So let's have a look at the map. That'll be that'll be the starting point of any plan I need to come up with, and it's looking very open. That's scary. Okay, we have a number of victory X's here. Oh well, they're not worth that much this time. That one's only worth 40. 40. 40. So there's not much points there. In fact, it's not really that worth fighting. It's not worth putting too much effort into either holding them or fighting over them, because or attacking for them, because depending on what your losses would be, you may not gain that much. I mean, with only that the victory X's are not going to. It probably depend more on losses than anything else. If I can find this one here. Okay, so the ones we start with are quite a bit more valuable. It looks like. Can't really tell how many there are there. It's one of the weird things in the game is you can't see the victory X's at the beginning. During we didn't purchase, you kind of have to guess where they are. Yeah, so there's 100. I'm guessing the other side has the same thing. Yeah. So we actually start with quite a lot of points in terms of victory X's. So. I'm actually not sure which side I'm starting on. I should be on this side, regardless, because Germany always has to be against. When fighting Western nations, they're always on the right-hand side of the map. So, don't know how far back we'll be. That's about the center of the map. Visibility 25, so we can expect probably. At least on these hills. Now I'm gonna go with infantry. With 800 points, you're not gonna get. I mean, you could get a lot of tanks, but then you wouldn't really have much infantry to support them anyway. And I'm not really that good with armor, so I think I'm gonna stick with a rifle company which seems to have a lot of firepower. The only problem is their anti-tank capability needs to be redistributed. So I'm probably, given that it's quite open, I expect he'd probably have. Well, we're limited to 10% armor, but I mean, as we saw in the last battle, 10% can get you quite fairly effective armor if you're expecting an infantry. In an infantry battle, because they more into a supporting role rather than the main attack. However, given the fact that this map is so open, armor would actually be quite useful here, but I'm not going to do that. It's not too bad. I mean, it's the middle of the map. That's this year, so we have some hills. We have a vineyard to hide in. An orchard over here. It's not that bad for infantry. They're going to be moving very slowly anyway. Um, hmm. And on the south of the map, now, what I'm thinking is probably two of the platoons would be moving forward as the attack, and then the third would be in defense, to cover any possibility of him moving up the flanks or something. So that's two platoons moving up, and the support platoon as well would probably be involved in the attack. But where would they move up, and what kind of support would the ones that are attacking? The ones that are left behind from me, they may need transport because if they have to move around a bit. So what do we have here? This is height 20. Oh wow, this is mud back here. Really? Wow. Okay, so by the stream, we have the tricky terrain. I have to say the random maps that it generates are quite interesting. It's something that'd be difficult to do with a 3D graphics because it's a tile-based system. It's quite easy to put things together, but it doesn't do too bad a job of making reasonably believable maps. It's one of the few things that it does fairly well. So I'm thinking probably. I mean, this is probably more useful because there's a victory. His victory X is actually in these trees. Yeah, be much easier for infantry to move up through this side. Armor would be somewhat restricted in there. These ones. Though this does seem a bit odd, right? These sandy areas around the stream gully. Does it does seem a bit out of place in a European map. The thing is, I don't know how far back the deployment will be. But this seems like fairly safe area to consume. I can assume I can start from. There's hills in front, so we don't have line of sight. The infantry X is over here. Okay, I'm thinking two platoons will move up this side. One platoon will move into defensive positions here, depending on how far back we are. They difficult because they would be on this open ground here. So maybe this high ground. They'd stick out like sore thumbs, basically, but might not be a bad thing. At least I'd have an advantage of being able to see the enemy approaching. This one's actually not bad on this side as well. We might be able to see into the vineyard a little bit. Because if half the force is moving up this side, then I need to watch this flank. And then I be making it up after that. So So yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna go with. It's better than nothing. It's better than what I had last time. At least I have an idea of what I'm trying to accomplish. Then when I actually see the deployment, it may influence that. And I think the infantry will have a slightly better time moving up through here. Line of sight is a bit more restricted, but if anybody's on these hills here, they will have. That's not going to matter. There's an advantage on this side is that these orchards and vineyards will restrict line of sight, but then once you get past them, um, then you're moving through the open here, and that's not all that appealing for an infantry attack. So yeah, I think I'll go with that. So okay. Now, I think I can get the same infantry I had last time. We'll go with a rifle company. It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points, but they have a lot of firepower. You get a lot for that point. So. When you get 3 light mortars and 3 infantry anti-tank units, and the platoons are all 4 sections. So you have a regular infantry and then a heavy infantry. So they they carry a lot of firepower. I mean, it's not a it's with the points. That's basically what I'm trying to say, in my opinion. Now, I mean, maybe the HQ units are a waste of points. I don't know. I mean, considering that we're not using command and control, we don't really need the orders. I mean, if you look at how much a rifle platoon, because that's one of those. Well, you're stuck with that anyway. You can't turn it off. So even if you bought the platoon separately, the platoon separately, you'd still end up with one of those, and those are 78 points each. So it should just add up to the same thing, I think. I'm not gonna figure it out now. There's no reason why it should be cheaper. In fact, it's probably more expensive because you get a company. Again, that's may not be worth the points in a non-command and control game because you don't what that a company HQ gives you is more orders, which is very valuable when CNC is on. But it also gives you extra rally points if you need it. So it's not I there's uses for it, right? Whether I actually want to spend the points on that is, I guess, up to individual taste. It's 19 points. I mean, it's not a small amount of points. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go with that. Let's make sure we have the options. I'm gonna go with the anti-tank rifles. I want some ranged. I'll make sure I want to make sure I have ranged anti-tank weapons because that's what was missing in the previous battle. So I'm gonna go with that because the other option is tank mines, and these guys actually, most of them, like the heavy infantry, have tank mines. Yeah. So we already have one, short-range anti-tank weapons. We need something of a bit longer range, but they're not really that effective past, maybe 2 or 3 hexes anyway. So it's not really long range. I am actually going to consider actual anti-tank guns. We'll see how much points I got left. So we just blend through a lot of points there. Yeah, and next is recon. So looking at the map, let's see how much would they. I'm thinking one recon, a recon platoon for each of these platoons, just so that each each of them can move about if necessary. Hopefully, I won't do that because that would that would mean I've thrown my plan out the window already. It's a bit early for that. Okay, so scouts, yeah, scout platoons. Now, what do we got? We got the um, two-man team, two-man team scout platoon, or the four-man sections. Difference in cost is actually not that much, and the four have tank mines, whereas these guys don't. So the question is, doesn't matter. It did in the last battle because actually one scout section took out one of his took out his armored FO vehicle. So um, hmm. Uh, we're moving up to this side. We'll be out in the open. I think the two-man might be better. Maybe I should mix them up. Um, I don't know what I want. Oh, that's odd. Could have sworn that was. Okay, yeah. It's one of those weird things that somehow it actually could have sworn it had a two-man and one two-man section and a pair of four-man sections there, but maybe I just imagined it. But in any event, once you select it, you can't switch them. So even if the game gives you something odd, you generally can't get it back. You know, if you see it and you want it, then you have to basically buy it because you're not going to see it again. I'm not sure why it does that, but hmm. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do. Oh yeah, it did. It's offering me for 25 points. So basically, because if you click this one, you'll get 21 point two with three two-man sections, or you can get 29 points. Or was it 27 points? It's offering a scout platoon with a two-man the platoon leader is a 2-man section, and the other sections are 4-man sections. Hmm. I don't know what difference. I mean, it's just it's just a difference in points, really. But it's funny. I went back to the map, and I was able to duplicate it because I went back to the map, and it showed that again. It must have reset it somehow. Okay, so I don't know if I should I go with that or does it even matter? Um, the advantage I mean, that means there's one of them that's a little harder to spot. Um, Now, what I'm going to do, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a 2-man. Platoon of 3 2-man sections, and then the others will be 4. I'll buy 2 of those with the 4-man, just to have the two. This group can push in front because they'll be harder to spot, and the other ones would probably be coming up behind them more likely. I'll go with that just to mix it up a bit. Really have a little bit of flexibility. Um, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Now I got 245 points left. Okay, now it gets trickier. I think I'll just deal with the artillery first. We can have 80 points in additional artillery. So these light mortars are not counting against that 80 points. It's basically using 10%, 10% artillery rule, just to prevent too much, too much artillery. These were actually quite well. Nope, not that one. Not that one. And mortar section. Yeah, these were actually quite inexpensive. 38. 2 of those are going to be 76 points, which is so. Um, I basically last time I took 2 sections. I don't know if I'll do that again. You tend to you need you if I want to try attacking, so um, generally need more artillery if you're attacking. So um, I mean I want to avoid having us being sitting still like I did in the last battle. It probably cost me more though. I mean I'll probably take a lot more losses if I try to move around too much. I think I managed to keep my losses, fairly low in the last battle only because I wasn't moving around that much. I only started really moving around in the last couple of turns, 2 or 3 turns or so, um, and that's where I took most of my losses when I was actually advancing on the north side of the map. Okay, well, if I go with 2. Because I said it's 76 points. Yeah, so that's well within the 80 points. And we do need vehicles for that though. So, but let's look at the for observer. We'll need one of those. Okay, so that takes care of artillery. We do need vehicles for that, just in case they need to be moved because they're quite slow. They are quite slow. So let's see, movement is only 4, where compared to say light mortars, mortar section. Do we even have light mortar sections? Oh, okay. Well, I guess you can only get them as a... Yeah, well, I mean, the light mortars can keep up with the infantry, so they don't need anything. So let's go to the trucks. Take care of that now. I think you need... well, one annoying things about the the game is that how things are structured. Like, there's no... Like, I can't click on this year just to get information about it. Which is very annoying because if I click on that, it deletes it. User interface design was not high on the priority list. Yeah. Okay, so there's a weight of 4. Uh, excuse me. That's per tube. That's each though. So the section has a weight of 8. Because there's 2 of them. So, so it's a total of 16. We have 4, and an observer team is 18. So we need at least 18 points of transport for now, anyway. Truck section. These worked out before. 28 points each. So one of those trucks can truck section. Yeah. I mean, one section is more than capable of carrying them. Oh, carries 12. No. I'm looking at the weight numbers. The carries the side, the 112. The 100 means that it can carry guns, small guns. To 12 is how many men it can carry. The mortars have a weight of 4, so 3 of them can fit in there. So we'll need 2, and I mean it's a might as well just buy a section because that's what I did in the last battle. It worked out, but I didn't actually use them. But that's mainly because I didn't I didn't really move around that much, so it didn't matter. If I do end up moving around, then it'll be useful. So do I need that one, or I can go with the cheaper one. Why would I? Well, just to save points and to do something different. Because that only carries 10, so that's a total of 20, which is still enough to carry the entire artillery group, the mortars and the observer team. The observer team probably will not be carried in them, but yeah, let's go with the cheaper one. See, no reason to spend the extra 2 points. Yeah, we'll go with that. And so that takes care of transport for the mortars if they are needed. So we have 140 points left. Okay. Now, anti-tank guns don't count against the artillery, but I think they quite... 36... Actually, that's not bad. That's a 37 millimeter. I'm thinking more for defense rather than something that I would use. Because I mean, obviously they'd need to be moved. They're difficult to move around, so Um, but just to ride, because I'm only going to have one reserve platoon, which will basically assigned to defense initially. Um, but if armor moves in close, then they might have difficulty. I don't know. Um, I struggled with that with dealing with the light armor in the last battle, and I want to avoid that, like, if I can. Um, Anti-tank guns are not. I mean, 36 points is not a lot of points. I'm not really worrying about armor at this point yet. Um, yeah, I can't take any more regular regular artillery, so um, hmm. Okay, the other thing I want to look at is heavy machine gun energy section. Okay, we have LMGs that are included in the rifle company, so I don't need light machine guns, but heavy machine guns I think would be helpful. Yeah, so let's get one section of that. They can keep up with infantry mostly. Infantry move a little bit faster than they do, though. Let's see, infantry company, rifle platoon. Let's see, the heavy infantry have a movement of 9. They get left, so the heavy machine guns would get left behind, but they wouldn't be moving that fast anyway. I don't see it. It's difficult to see how they. There's no way infantry would be moving fast enough that the heavy machine guns would get left behind. So I'm not going to worry about having transport for them. Um, I also want some infantry anti-tank. That might be better buy than anti-tank guns because they're a little bit more mobile. That's 33 points. I have 110 points left. Let's see, we go with that. Now we're down to 77 points. Which actually isn't going to allow me to buy very much in the armor department. So I guess we'll look at that. Armored car section. The annoying thing is the German armored cars from this part of the war can't carry anything. Yeah, they can't carry anything. Which is kind of frustrating. This is what I had last time. We can use Two of them are 72 points. Yeah, I prefer these because they can carry up to 4 men, so they can carry the scout sections quite easily. So that was a 60. They just don't have much firepower though. That's the thing. they're not they're not. I mean, they classified as tanks. They fall into the AFV category in the game. So they count against the armor benefit, but they just really don't have the firepower that almost anything else would have. I mean, like the armored cars have 20 millimeter or rapid fire cannons, which is substantially more effective. Actually, I think even the Panzer Mark II is also up to 20 millimeter. So, and you got light armored car, which is also only machine gun. I think the Mark I is probably a better buy. But I don't know. One thing I want to look at, how much was a sniper? Sniper is 15 points. They were actually quite helpful in the last battle. $77 points. Well, they count as recon. They were 15 points. I go with that instead. Yeah, how does that work out? Okay, let's just try that. See, I can always remove things because we're not losing anything here. And if we try So one of these. And actually, I think I get one more. Yeah. Oh, that leaves 8 points. Interesting. Didn't actually expect it to leave 8 points, because it says as the individual cost is 26 points. When you buy them in a section, they cost 36, but actually it looks like it costs less than that. It actually halves. It's actually half of that. So that's why there was 8 points left over. It's not enough for another one, but you can get. So you can get 3 of them, which you can carry those. Trying to decide whether it's worth it. Well, I'm thinking I may actually just be taking too much of this. Too much. Yeah, maybe I took too much mortars. I don't know. Or do I really need the Panzerjägers? Well, what I'm planning to do with these ones here is to redistribute them, reassign them to the other platoons. Probably gonna do the same thing with the mortars. So these guys would just be more. That could be used on their own, but without anything to transport them, they kind of not. They be not. They're not easy to get around, move around the map, right? Just because they just too slow. Decisions, always decisions. Yeah, they move the same speed as regular infantry. Well, they are regular infantry, just a bit more specialized. They are equipped with submachine guns, so they're not. And I think there's, well, that's a 2-man team. Okay, given what the map looks like, let's see. Ouch! That was a bit loud. People love the motorcycles. And I think there's an appeal of driving down a main street because you get the sound reflected off the buildings as you're driving past them. Probably adds to the thrill. Are they useful? That's the question. Are they useful? Yeah, the problem is there's no way for them to move around, right? I mean, no way for them to move around quickly. There's not going to be enough transport, and hmm. Well, there's 8 points left. With that combination. So if we take those out, let's not use, if we don't have a sniper, that leaves that's 5 points, which I will not be able to fill. Yeah, so I wouldn't. The question is, do I? Which is more useful? um, a sniper, which is elite recon. That's actually maybe more useful. I mean, I've seen how effective an elite recon one-man sniper team is in the recon training scenario. So I'm guessing that's probably better than that. Um, yeah. Okay. So let's see how I feel about it if I take those out. And add these in. I got 8 points left over. That's pretty good. Yeah, there's nothing you can find for 8 points. I don't even think you can even get transport for that. I mean, half track is 19 points. Yeah. Nope. That would be it. Nothing we can get in there. Yeah, 800 points is not a lot of points. Try to decide whether I justify the two snipers instead. They may be useful. They may be more useful in the recon. So what I might do, if I go with that, is because these can carry 4 men, so I might end up putting the 2-man scout teams on them. Yeah, and then the observer team, which is also a 2-man team, and the 2 snipers. So that'll be the lead recon group. And I don't know. Well, the thing is, how to use it. That's just it. Buying units and not knowing how you're going to use it is probably I mean the victory because I'm aiming for the ones a year. So the tanks aren't really gonna be they're gonna be able to get recon up here very fast, but that's about it. Then they have to get out of there because the area is not going to be very good for them. Not without more infantry support, so they have to leave anyway. Which won't leave. Well, get out of sight anyway, so that they can provide support. But they just don't have the firepower, right? Maybe better to move them back and have them pick up something else. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I'm not happy with that. Let's try something different. I put these in here first. Okay. And back to infantry. I still feel these would be useful, but they need to be I need to get them into a position where they can actually do something useful. So if we do that, it only leaves 5 points over. And these are two-man teams, so they can be carried on these as well. So how many men is that? That's 6 there. Uh, total of 6 men. Total of 6 men. They don't all fit on there though, unfortunately. Actually, they do. That's a total of 12. Like each tank can carry 4 men. That's a total of 16 men. That group fits on there, and in the observer team. That gets them up into gets them forward, and take it from there. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with that. For better or for worse, probably for worse. So the idea is that the light tanks will move those units up, those some recon units up into this area so that they can recon this area. Because my goal is, I mean, these victory X's here are my goal. Don't really care about that one. I don't. It doesn't seem very easy to get to. However, from his perspective, it's probably the same thing. Although, I mean, last time he took all the victory X's on turn 2, so I'm expecting he probably try to pull that off again. I don't really care. It bothered me the last time because I didn't expect it, but now I realized it probably doesn't matter. It's not because it doesn't matter how long you hold the victory X's. It it only matters. Losses count for a lot as well. So if you can take a few at the end, that's just as good. And if you can get a draw, um, or even just a minor loss, then or minor defeat, for me that's probably good enough at the moment. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's the basic plan. Whether they'll work or not, we shall see. So I'm gonna go with that. Um, Leaves me with 5 points over. Nothing I can do. Uh, there's nothing you can spend it on. There's nothing that has 5 points. So I just lost 5 points, but what the heck. Okay, well, I'm interested to see if the Panzerjägers can do anything useful on their own. I mean, it's also an experiment, right? To see whether they can be helpful again in early war. Uh, as the war went on, the Panzerjägers became somewhat less effective until the Panzerschrecks came along. Um, so the anti-tank rifles were actually not too bad against the light armor from the early war, but as the war went on, they became less and less effective. Obviously, so I'm interested to see how well that works, if it even works. So I think that's it. Yeah, we're done. Okay, so